no, it wasn't good. Have you... Okay. Is it concerning that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have fought so many times, and yet every single time you're met with mostly disappointment? Why is that the case? Despite the fact that they have wrestled, let's see, 8 times throughout this entire run, and yet the one thing I always hear, the most repetitive thing I always hear when it comes to Roman and Brock Lesnar is that their first encounter is their best encounter. No matter how many times they push it, no matter how many times they fight for it, they don't seem to click like they did at WrestleMania 31. I see that as a problem. But WWE's gonna be like, well, we just need to try again. Remember, WWE had a period where they had Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, let's see, 3 times. 3 times in 1 year. And then they had a match in 2021, then they had a match in 2022. The only reason we didn't get one in 2020 was because Brock Lesnar considered himself retired after he lost to Drew McIntyre. And the other matches that involved Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns that were actually good were multi-man matches, i.e. the Fatal 4-Way match and the match with Dean Ambrose. And their first encounter also got more remembered because of what Seth Rollins pulled, the heist of the century. So, despite everything going on with that, they still push this match to be the biggest in WrestleMania history. Even though, while I begrudgingly have to say this, I feel Rock and Hogan is the biggest match in history because of its significance. Or you could say Stone Cold and The Rock's match at WrestleMania 17 is significant because it was the end of the Attitude Era. But let's ignore all that because this is a championship unification match. Which, I must stress, doesn't automatically equal glorious WrestleMania biggest match in history. This match was only, and I must stress this, only 12 minutes. And it's not even the talent's fault involved. I mean, like, you could probably say it was Brock Lesnar because of what happened at the end game. Because Roman Reigns got his shoulder popped out during the Kimura lock. And they had to cut to ending rather quickly out of nowhere. So, yeah, it was bad that happened. And the idea that Roman Reigns' big run could end because he got hurt is a problem in and of itself. But yeah, but this match is the same match you got at WrestleMania 34. Spear, Superman punch, an occasional non-finishing move punch, and we don't even get the guillotine involved. Like, I thought for sure that was going to be the end game, where Brock finally submits to the guillotine and Roman can take home that he tapped out Brock Lesnar, which is a rarity in wrestling. Like, I think the last person to actually tap Brock Lesnar out that's not Kurt Angle was the guy who can't be mentioned because he's been blacklisted for the horrible things he committed. But yeah, this match, the build-up, this is the match where you build it up and the match stunk because the build-up was infinitely better. Like, imagine if they had took the build-up of this all the way back to WrestleMania 31 and the match would deliver. That would have worked. But it was the same formulaic match. It only worked once. You could only have that match work once. The only reason I feel people remember the WrestleMania 34 match was because of the excess blood involved and Roman Reigns' face while he's breathing, like trying to look like he's having a massive crimson mask on his face and having a massive rage boost going through him, only to lose. But Roman Reigns has had a near 600-day run as Universal Champion, has not been pinned nor submitted since 2019, which is a big deal. And yet, this should have been like, there's just one major other problem with this match. This is the Roman Reigns dilemma we're facing. I said previously I want Roman Reigns to have an Okada-like run. He's had that run. It's just WWE failed to do something kind of essential. How do I explain this delicately? They have no one built up for him. Big E could have been an option, but they stunk on that. Yeah, who's left? And then WWE's probably going to be like, but wait, wrestling fans who complain on the internet. Now that Roman Reigns is both the WWE and the Universal Champion, that means he fights everybody. That means we have all the resources we have to do it. That's how we get the full story until we can get Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 39. No, it isn't. If you're going to tell me that the entire roster is nothing but filler just to get a match that you cannot be guaranteed because Hollywood will block it as much as they can unless you can pay for it, and you probably can't since they have a huge goddamn insurance policy on The Rock ever since the incident at WrestleMania 29, then you have no run. You have built Roman Reigns up to a detrimental point. And here's the thing, as much as I love the tribal stuff, as much as I love the fact that he's finally a heel, it's starting to become a bad run because, how do I point this out delicately? And this is not me hating Roman Reigns or anything, this is what I'm going to just say. It was garbage when Hulk Hogan ran WCW like that. It was garbage when Cena was running the company like that. It was garbage when they went ahead and pushed Orton and kept him downsizing people's momentum. It was bad when Triple H did it. It was bad when Hulk Hogan was doing it. It was bad in the 80s when he kept killing off everyone's momentum. It was bad in the 90s, and they still keep bringing it back. The only difference so far is that Roman doesn't have that much of an ego yet. Though I'm surprised he hasn't. He did have it, like in 2015 when he was getting pushed heavily the first time. But then he realized that was stupid and finally admitted he was wrong to do it. Which is something Seth Rollins took 2 years to learn. That being a ass to everybody on the internet was a stupid idea. Roman has been pushed so much now that they have no one left, and I am convinced now that they'll start procuring resources from 2.0, their most promising talent from NXT 2.0, just to placate the filler stuff, just to get to WrestleMania 39, because we need to do Rock and Roman, which is not even guaranteed because Hollywood doesn't want it. And here's the thing. They're going to California next year for WrestleMania, for the 2-night spectacle. And here's the thing I think WWE seems to forget. doesn't need the title. That's just it. They don't need to put the title on the line. It was bad when you did it with The Rock versus Cena for twice in a lifetime, because that ruined, because now the meme is existing. You don't need Roman and The Rock to have the title. Oh sure, Vince is probably going to do it because, well, it boosts up the relevancy of the title, even though you could just drop it to somebody and let them have the momentum. But now, and I said this, I could honestly see if they did it right with Rex Steiner beating Roman and winning the WWE or Universal Championship. They could do that. I don't think they will. They could probably use Gable Stevenson to do it. And considering what's going on about him and what's coming back into the limelight, that might be a problem. But yeah, there is only like one good thing about the match I loved, other than Heyman confessing his love to Roman to rise him up to beat Brock Lesnar, because that's what the vibe I got. Like, Roman, I love you. I cannot let you go. You cannot give up. Fight. Like that definitely sounded like a confession or something. But the whole where Paul Heyman panics and tells Lesnar, it was all Roman's idea. It was all Roman's idea. Here's the thing. They could honestly do that story. They could have honestly have built that story like that, where the story is that the more Heyman has hung out with Roman, the more Roman starts to act like Lesnar. Like, they've been hinting at this and suggesting it, they just never follow through with it. Like, think about it. Roman Reigns tells Bryan, all that long, huh? All that long. And what does that remind you of? When Brock Lesnar did it to Bryan back at Survivor Series. Then there was Roman skipping Hell in a Cell, much like Lesnar skipped half of the calendar because he's a part-timer. And Roman can just say, I'm Roman Reigns, I can do whatever I want. And let's see, he is carte blanche to wreck everybody and leave. Brock Lesnar did the same thing. You couldn't make a story on that. It's much like reminding me of the Fiend storyline, where Braun Strowman confirmed on TV that everyone who fights the Fiend changes. Like, beforehand, that was just convenient storytelling padding for fan perspective, but they confirmed it that yes, that is canon. So why can't we confirm this is canon too? I'm like, you could probably build up Cody Rhodes and have him beat Roman Reigns, but I have a hard time believing that they won't consider that idea, because if they did that, that would mean that anyone from AEW that comes to WWE will be thinking, I could just extort as much money as humanly possible, they can give me as much cash as possible, and I could be guaranteed a chance to fight for the title right out of the gate. So Miro would have a chance. So, yeah. Yeah, this has become a conundrum for me. The reign of Roman Reigns, pun intended, has deteriorated for me. Like, I still like the gimmick, I still like the run, but for me, it's like, what's the end game here that's not Rock and Roman? And I must stress, that's a match that is not guaranteed because Hollywood doesn't want to risk it. Oh, and Roman dislocated his shoulder because that was bad. And then people on the internet decided to make a fight about it over saying, well, Kenny Omega went through all this. Roman Reigns could clearly handle it. Yeah, but this is WWE. They handle things differently than AEW and any other promotion. And even if you go with, well, Roman Reigns has 2 titles from the same promotion. Kenny Omega had 3 different titles from 3 different promotions. Okay, that's true, but that it still makes me wish we could get that match, but that's never gonna happen, sadly, unless Kenny Omega goes to WWE, which would be a guaranteed death sentence. So, take of that what you will. But I honestly, once again, had hoped when Brock Lesnar went for the F5, Brock Lesnar would go for the F5, Roman Reigns catches him in midair and locks in the guillotine and knocks him out for that. That would have been hilarious. It would have been awesome. It would have been something spectacular for WrestleMania. But that never happened. It's just spear, the end. Oh yeah, I don't know what happened in regards to this. Like, Roman still is the champion, which and considering that, depending on how bad the dislocated shoulder was, we haven't got any confirmation how bad it was. There was a noticeable red marking on his shoulder when it all happened. Here's the thing. I thought, I'm hoping we do something at the end game here that's not Roman and Rock in regards to the title, but Brock, I don't know what's gonna happen to him after this. Like, this is the best run he's had. I'll admit, I was wrong. I thought Brock Lesnar was just gonna win the WWE title, then take off afterward because of his part-time status, but no. Now, Brock Lesnar has been having fun. He is the most fun character going. He's doing the cowboy stuff. Heck, I'm half convinced he probably will say cowboy, you know what, just for the giggles, because he knows that's gonna piss off somebody from cowboy she's going on with AEW, because now I suddenly want Hangman Page versus Brock Lesnar. Oh god, cowboy versus cowboy. Cowboy Hangman, Cowboy Lesnar, Cowboy Hangman, Cowboy Lesnar, Cowboy Hangman, Cowboy Lesnar. Yeah. Also, I want to apologize to all of you. I've been having a cold and everything this past week, so my Mania schedule plans were fucked up. I was planning to watch all the wrestling content I could. I was going to skip most of WrestleMania because I had no interest in the card. For the most part, I would probably go back and watch the only good ones I've heard about. And then I saw the main event because I was hoping that the abrupt ending would lead to Rock coming out. Sadly, that wasn't the case. Yeah, this is the thing. You're expecting The Rock to show. There were plans apparently rumored that The Rock was going to show, and you don't show him, even though there's been word going around that they want to do a year-long build, but now it's too late to do that. So, yeah. Also, from a Roman Reigns perspective, how oversaturated do you think Roman's going to get now that he has both world titles, since he's now the Undisputed Champion for like the third time? I don't know. I do not know what's in store for this whole run. Like, he cut a promo on Raw and that was it. There's no challenger yet. Cody Rhodes wants to honor Dusty's legacy, his dad's legacy, by winning the world title that he was robbed of back in the 90s, in the 70s if I'm correct. So, take of that what you will. Is this going to lead to a match between the two? Yes, probably. Will it lead to Cody actually winning the belt for Roman? I don't know, because that would unleash Pandora's box for Vince, because now other AEW talents can start coming saying, hey Vince, my contract's up. You're going to have to pay me a lot of money just to get this kind of opportunity to have me. I got a lot of momentum on my side. Like, I'm pretty sure Matt Cardona's already thinking that idea, because, heck, if I can do it, they can do it. Heck, like, he's open to coming back if he keeps the podcast going. So, take of that what you will, everybody. This was the Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse, presenting Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar talk from WrestleMania 38. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everybody, and have a good day.